Hi ladies, and welcome to week 2 video 1 on creation, better known as video 11, I think. So this week, well, let's go back. Last week, just to recap, as you know, we made our vision boards. We started living, in the picture. We started getting ourselves in the mindset that this is our reality. We were walking around kind of envisioning and visualizing and using creative visualization to make us feel and kind of trick our subconscious minds that we were already in that picture. That is really all you have to do when it comes to creation. That is the work that you do to make yourself a vibrational match. It's that you use the vision and the feeling that the vision elicits from you and creates from you, because that's your first manifestation, is the feeling that you're in the story, and then you attract kind of what you're feeling, what you're being, what you're seeing in your mind constantly on a larger scale. So your large scale macro life, your outer life, is a reflection of the micro. Each little moment that we experience add up to the bigger picture, and each moment that you can be in alignment with your desire, it only takes 51% or more to tip that scale towards getting your desire going, and bringing your desire into the physical. Because remember, your desire is already a reality. The fact that you even have, I'm just going to remind you, the fact that you even have that idea in the first place means that it is a reality, it is an opportunity, and the more strongly you desire it, the more it is really meant for you, and the more it's even possible at that point. Because if desire is a feeling and the feeling is what creates, then it's more possible. The stronger your desire is, the easier it will be for you to bring that into physical form. So really try to remember that this is all about seeing past the illusion. What is going on right now is not, that's like old news. And what the new news is the excitement of the fact that you are going to experience this new life, as long as you just continue to pull it into the physical. And that's what you're doing when you're seeing past the illusion and you're envisioning and you're feeling and you're creating. Please excuse the whatever machine that is. It's like a lawn. It doesn't sound like a lawnmower, but some machine. Of course, they decide to do this, when I'm filming, because normally they don't do that stuff till Wednesday, but who knows. Anyways, hopefully you can still hear me over it, and if not, then you're not gonna see this video. Oh, it's a leaf blower, and they're walking that way, so it shouldn't be too long. Okay, so I do have a bunch of random different kind of notes for this one, but it does all come to a cohesive, coherent theme. So the first video of this creation theme was all about getting clear in your vision and figuring out what you want in the first place and making that vision. The second video was all about what your vision is and starting to project that and put it into your day-to-day, and start, like I said, the first couple minutes of this, pulling it into reality by using your creative visualization and using your heart energy and connecting your feeling to it to pull it in. And then the next step to creation is really actually taking it from a vision to, like, this is your reality. So this is one of my favorite things to do, favorite things to talk about, is acting as if, and it's basically, making a decision. And that's another thing that I guess is worth talking about that I didn't even think about. I don't even have it written down in my notes, but often this is what happens. I'm sorry, princesses. What are you doing, baby girl? Come here. She's literally staring at me like I'm going crazy talking to myself, but she's seen me do this like how many times now? Come here, baby. You want to say hi? So, making a decision. Your decisions are so powerful. Why? Because when you make a decision about something, it becomes your expectation. Like, you say, this is what I'm going to do, and you do it, and it's a very factual energy. So what we're aiming to do this week is really clean up the split energy, clean up, the old thoughts that are not in alignment with what you want, and discover the beliefs and embody the beliefs of the woman that you want to become. Remember, I've talked about the fact that your dream life, that version of you who's living that dream, has different beliefs and a different reality than this one. And now that we've kind of thought about it, we've been getting more and more clear. Now it's time to make those decisions and embody those beliefs and put them into action, and really start to act as if the person act as if you are the person who already has what you want. And this is like the magic formula to creation, because this takes it from a theory. I should probably button this. This takes it from a theory of like, you know, being in your mind and just being something that you're theorizing about and that you're visualizing for yourself. It's like fun. You're starting to get more clear. It's exciting when you have a new desire, when you find out your desire can happen. You know, it's a fun thing to do to kind of live in that airy fairy dreamland. And I love that place because I'm Pisces. It's easy for me to get there. And that is how you create. But the real like magic happens when you start to take action on that dream and you start to act like it, because that is a manifestation and that is a more physical thing to do. So if you think about it, we have two different kind of realms of the world of life. We have the realm of like thought, consciousness, energy, vibration, you know, what's kind of being perceived, what's going on in your head. And then we actually have the physical, tangible 3D, you know, the bodies, the things, the cars, your home, the trees, you know, physical manifestation. So what you do when you start to take action and you act as if is you marry the two. You take your clear-cut intention, which is what you have now because you spent all last week figuring out what it is that you want and starting to visualize and pretend it's already here in your mind. And now we're taking that clear-cut intention and we're going to start to act on it, and we're going to make it 3D. And remember that the universe follows you and life follows you. So what you put off is what has to come back to you. It is law. It is just like gravity. It's a universal law, so it can't get it wrong. It's just up to you to gonna kind of go with that and be in alignment with it and act that way. So when you're acting that way and you're putting off that vibe, like this is what's happening, and you make that decision. One of my favorite like little memes is like the universe rolls out the red carpet for those who commit to the beauty of their dreams and commit to their dreams and commit and act as if, you know, act as if nothing. Another one that's my favorite is act as if nothing is holding you back, and the universe will roll out the red carpet for you. You know, something along those lines. There are two different quotes that I've seen, but it is true. When you make a decision, it cleans up your energy. You're no longer going back and forth between what is and looking so much at it and then like what could be or what you desire, what you want. Remember, want suggests lack. So I'm using that term loosely, but are you in the wanting energy? Are you still like, this is what I want, but this is, you know, I'm living my day-to-day life, and yes, I'm visualizing, but I'm not really like taking action on it or believing that it's truly going to happen. When you make a decision, it says this is what's happening, and then that's what has to come back to you. That's the energy that you put off. That's the energy that you're going to get back, because life is following you. So take action on what it is that you are wanting, and this is going to look different for everyone, you know, regarding where they're at. So you might need to reach out and message me. We might need to talk about it. This is something I did in my last course, and it was a lot of fun to talk about doing like a makeover. So anything that is not in alignment with what you say you want, it's time to get ballsy. It's time to get bold. It's time to literally, physically let go of the things that are not serving you. And that's going to include physical things, and it's also going to include, remember, your mindset about it. I've been talking a lot about this lately because it's so important, and the more I talk about it, hopefully the more it clicks and resonates and you really truly get this, because once again, you don't learn from words or teaching, you learn from experience, and you learn from actually like having it click within you. So the more I can talk about it, I'm hoping the more it will click. So letting go of the mindset of like resonating, even agreeing, you know, that what you want isn't yours, letting go of that, and instead of not thinking about something, thinking about its opposite. So one of your practices, you know, this week is going to be pivoting. It's going to be pivoting from old reality to new reality. It's going to be, instead of plugging into what is or like freaking out about it or feeling like you don't have what you want, it's going to be pivoting to what is it that I want and why, and what is it going to feel like when I have it. That's the constant question that you want to be really asking yourself. But you also want to go through and start to take physical action and make physical changes in your world and in your beliefs like acting on those new beliefs to become this new person and become the vibrational match and act like the woman who already has what you want. And then that speeds it up. It really does. Like, you'll find once you make a decision, it's factual. There's no split energy about it. And split energy is what keeps you stuck. It's what keeps you like, okay, I want this, but it's not here yet, and I don't really know if it can ever happen. Like, that's split energy, and that's what keeps you stuck, because half of your thoughts are going over here to what you want. Actually, I find that it's probably more like, 60, 40, 70, 30, that you're looking more at what it is that is really going on and not really putting your attention on what it is that you want and what that would look and feel like. But that's the split energy that I'm talking about. Is like half of your thoughts are going to one side, half of your thoughts are going to the other, and you're getting a mix. That's why you get a mix of good things and bad in your life, because it's indicative. Everything is indicative of what you're putting your attention on. So right here, right now, in this current reality, in this time, space, reality moment, wherever your money is an indication of all the momentum of what you've put out in the past, what's been coming out of you energetically, vibrationally, thought-wise, emotionally, your feelings in the past. So it just means it's time to clean it up, and it's just time to actually decide, this is what I desire. Not only is it what I desire, but this is what's happening. No ifs, ands, or buts, no questions, no doubts, no fears, no worries. Like, there's really not even, I don't even know what the fear or worry is about it, because it's done. And then starting to take action on it. So what this might look like for someone who is trying to manifest more money, or who is manifesting more money, especially in this course, letting go of the mindset that you are poor and not spending your money because you feel and you fear that no more is going to come. Like, this is all I have mentality, and I am poor. It's a lack mentality. It's time to let it go, and it's time to start investing. So what this would look like for someone who is, needing to get their money up, is when you get a bill, pay it. Even, if you have the money in your account, pay it. So many of us, and y'all, it took me so long to learn this lesson, and I banged around for a while with it because I didn't have the belief system to sustain it yet, and now I do it, and I had to just go outside of my comfort zone and listen to my heart and make that decision and go for it. And that's what started to happen, is it started to move for me. So I find that when I'm not spending money, when I'm not giving my money, it stops, because money is a flow. Money in, money out, money in, money out. And when I stop spending my money because I'm like, okay, I'm getting low, now I'm scared, now I can't spend any more money, and I have to start saving and hoarding and thinking about every dollar that I spend, and thinking of it as a debit from my account. When you're in that energy, your money just drains, because it's like you're stopping the flow. So what this might look like as an example for someone who's manifesting, wealth and good money beliefs, is when you get a bill, literally, if you have the money to pay it in your account, even if you don't know how you're going to pay for other things yet, you have to make the decision that I have enough, I have more than enough, I'm supported, more is going to come one way or another, and I'm deciding right here and right now that I am wealthy and that I do have enough. So if that's what I'm saying mentally and thought-wise, my actions need to add up to it. So it's not just about visualizing your life into being, it's about thinking, feeling, and acting as if, and believing that what you want is already a reality, no matter what current appearances look like. And so you can start using some affirmations for this too, like, I keep myself lifted in high consciousness no matter what the appearances are, or I am wealthy no matter what old reality says, or I am, I have more than enough no matter what current appearances are. I know more can come to me. I don't know how, but I know that it is, because I've decided, and what's done is done. So you want to start, if you're really having trouble with it, hopefully by now, knowing your purpose information, going through and talking about beliefs, and, getting yourself in that place of love. Hopefully by now y'all are a little stronger where you can just go ahead and do that. Now, you don't want to spend money, you don't want to go crazy. You don't want to, like, I'm not what I'm not telling you to do is, okay, Devin says that, you know, if I'm acting as if I want to be wealthy, then I need to spend my money, so I'm just going to go out and buy the first thing I see, or I'm just going to buy something insanely expensive that I've always been wanting, but not feel good about it. Technically, you could do that, and that could work, but if you jump too far and you don't feel good about it, and you're not in a place of like, you can sustain that feeling of, yes, this is what I'm doing and this is going to bring me money because I know I'm investing in myself and I know that more is coming. If you can't sustain that, you don't want to go out and buy the most expensive thing that you've ever been wanting and say that you've invested in yourself if you don't feel good about it. You just want to start by paying, you know, something that you know you're going to have to pay eventually anyways, right? It's like, I have to pay this, whether, like, eventually, right? Whether it's like there or not right now, like eventually this is going to have to get paid. So I'm just going to go ahead and spend any money that I do have on it, because I'm demonstrating to the universe that I have more than enough, and you have to make that decision. Now, you want to just basically start acting out your visions too. If you have been visualizing over the past week, let's say you made your vision board and now you've been visualizing yourself going downtown and buying yourself something nice. Let's say you're at like the, I don't know, designer store or something, and you're buying yourself something nice. Or let's just say that you are visualizing yourself paying your bills and being at ease about like, okay, I have enough money. That's where the bill thing came from. So yes, you would want to pay your bill and say, okay, I have enough money, that's it. And then not worry about it, because more money will come. But also you want to start acting out your visions. Like if you've been visualizing yourself shopping, even if you don't technically have the money in your bank account to go buy that designer handbag or whatever, you can still go and act like you're doing it. You can go to the store and look at it. You can go to the store and buy something else at that store that you can afford, that's smaller, that's going to add value to your life. Basically, my point here is you want to start acting out your visualizations in any possible way that you can now, but you have to feel good about doing it. It should excite you. This is so important, so please listen this part. It should feel good. Once again, it should excite you. You should get yourself into this place of, this is a game that I'm playing with the universe. That's really how you have to look at it. You have to have fun. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about fun in the next video, but for now, just remember that these actions that you're doing, you need to really open your energy up to playing a game, testing the universe, saying, you know what, I'm going to do this and you're going to respond, and I'm just going to test it out and kind of see how this works. So you want to start acting out your visions. Act as if, okay, sorry, I need to figure out how to turn my like do not disturb things off, because I have a couple people who message me like, you know, one line at a time for like 20 messages, and then it keeps popping up on my phone. So and then it distracts me. So I'm trying to think of another example of like acting as if, you know, a lot of people talk about going to the car dealership when it comes to like imagine and playing and pretending. And if there's a car you want, like test drive it. I'm not a huge fan of that one, just because I don't like the pressure that you get to go there. Some people are strong enough, so if you can handle that and like you have absolutely no worry about the salesperson trying to sell you, and then it reaffirms your belief that you don't have money for it right here, right now, in this moment, then like if you're strong enough to do that, go ahead. But this is just an example. I'm not a huge fan of that. So every time you get in your car, you just want to continue like basically visualizing yourself and pretending that you're getting in that car. Act like the woman who is getting in her car. If there's a certain playlist that you think that you're going to listen to because it's going to be more fun when you have that new car, or if you're going to take it different places. If like I really want a Jeep, and actually I haven't really been trying to manifest a Jeep. It's been my dream car, but it's just not been something that's on the top of my list at all, because I have other things that are way above, which is funny because usually you get those things first. But anyways, I can take that on different roads, and so I'm not saying you want to take your like little tiny car on those roads now, but drive in that area right? Go to that part of town. If there's a different job that you want, start dressing for that job now. Start being the woman with that job right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Start driving a different route if you're going to be living in a different neighborhood. If the home that you want is in a different neighborhood, start visiting those grocery stores and that part of town. Like, hang out there. If you're going to, let's see, I'm trying to think. I should have made a huge long list of act as if techniques before, but it's really, like, it really depends on what you're trying to manifest. Okay, if you're trying to manifest a specific person, or if you're trying to manifest just love in general, like a date, you know, set aside time on Friday nights for date night. Or another thing that you can do is just start getting out of the house on date nights, like on Friday night, and taking yourself on dates and pretending that they're there with you. But here's the key. Remember, you have to do it and you have to have fun about it. It has to feel good. You can't take yourself out on that date and then be like sad about the fact that you're alone. You have to really get into this pretend mode. You have to have fun with it and tell yourself, like, the universe is following what I'm doing right now. You have to believe that. You have to start playing with that. The universe is watching me, and it's following me. It's not following what I'm saying or necessarily what I'm doing, but it's following the feeling. So this is really important. These actions that you're taking are to help you align with this person. So the action needs to elicit a feeling from you. If the action is not eliciting a feeling of positivity and excitement that's getting you in the mode, then don't do it. But you're gonna have to talk yourself a little bit through these things. Most likely, you know, because there's such a, especially if they're a big vibrational jump from where you're at now, you're going to have to remind yourself, okay, I'm doing this because I'm acting as if. I know that acting as if works because I'm being it, and what I'm being comes back to me. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to be excited about it because I know that this is an amazing manifesting tool and technique, and this is how things come, is because I'm being it. If you do it just because I tell you to, but you're not really feeling it, it's not going to work. So you're going to have to give yourself these pep talks, potentially. But the whole idea is to get into character. Even if you're not taking huge action, even if it's just cleaning out your closet, give yourself a makeover. Like, get rid of the things that tie you to your old life and to your old self, that tie you to the old relationship. Even if it's with the same person you're trying to manifest in your relationship, get rid of the old things, because that old relationship is dead and gone. If there's a haircut or a hairstyle that you really want that she's gonna have, get that hairstyle now, or start, you know, researching it. Researching is an amazing acting as if tool, because you're actually figuring out what it is that you want, and you're getting more clear about it so that you can have that, you can match that vibration. You can be in that same mental place, that same emotional place, right? The woman who has your dream home did the research and figured out where she wanted to live in town and what she wanted it to look like and how much, you know, she was going to spend on it and how much she needed and whatever, you know. It's time to start living in the picture. So start doing your research, start acting as if, start driving the different routes, start giving yourself a makeover. If the new version of you is healthy and beautiful, well, you're beautiful now, but you know what I mean. If the new version of you has a better body according to your standards, then you're gonna have to start acting like that person now. It's not enough just to like sit there and think about your body. Is a great thing to do, and the feeling is gonna help you. Your body will respond to you as you send love to it and as you do these visualizations, but you're gonna start doing different things when you have a healthy body, right? Healthy people eat healthier food. They know more, right? They study it. They do a little more research. They listen to people's videos on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever on like what eating healthy really looks like. They go to the grocery store and potentially meal prep. I don't know. These are things that you're going to have to think of, you know, with regards to your own specific desire. But you have to basically ask yourself, this is what you're going to ask yourself. You're going to say, how is the life of her, who's actually already me, but now I'm quantum leaping and kind of jumping into that. How is her life different than mine now? And what can I do right here and right now to start acting like that? And to start, what alignments can I make? Or what can I do to align? What actions can I take to align with that right here and right now? that is your homework for this, and that is really what I need you to be thinking about and getting into that place of having fun with it and using your imagination and playing and pretending, just like Rhonda Byrne talks about in The Power. Actually, I think I'm gonna share another chapter from that book because it's just such an amazing book, especially when it comes to manifesting and creating. That's how you do it. When it comes to manifesting your life and being intentional, you have to first have an image, a vision in your mind, get clear about it. Then you have to start visualizing it and feeling into it and pretending emotionally that it's already your reality. Then you start acting like it, and then you get into the receiving place, which I'm going to talk about in the last video, is going to be all about being in the receiving mode, and talking about receiving. It's such an important message, and it's something that I even was having new downloads and thoughts and ideas coming in today that I was making notes on. So I'm really excited to do that one. But for now, you're in the phase of acting as if. So make a list, what do I believe now versus what does she believe, and start acting on those new beliefs. Start acting on taking those new actions of what she's doing differently. Literally spend time looking at your vision board, and random people are messaging me today. Start looking at your vision board and putting yourself in that place. Look at your vision board, close your eyes, have your mental image come up that you were brought from looking at your vision board, and see yourself playing out these different pictures that are on your vision board. What do they look like and what are you doing? And start asking yourself for each one, right? Get a piece of paper and write down for each picture or for each concept each desire, each thing you're wanting to pull into your life, write down, okay, what am I doing and how can I start to do that now? Even if it's not exactly the same, you just want to start to take steps and start looking for evidence that you can do those things and that those things are already your reality. That's another thing you can do, is mentally and emotionally, vibrationally, you want to start pretending. And this is why the synchronicities are so important and helpful. You want to start pretending emotionally that this is your reality. So you want to start looking for evidence of wealth. When were times that you were wealthy? You want to write those things down. Make lists of times that you were wealthy. Make lists of times that money came to you. Also, asking yourself how, as far as relationships, how am I already, and I know I kind of mentioned this already in the course, but how, excuse me, how am I already a person with the relationship that I want? How am I already worthy? Look for evidence how you're already supported. If you need root chakra help, if that's something you're manifesting, is faith, when were some times that things already worked out for me? How am I already aligning with the frequency of joy or of abundance or of love? How am I, what do I experience in my daily life, or even just weekly? What happens, what occurs that's already showing me evidence of wealth or love? Are you aligning with couples? Are you seeing more couples on TV, more loving relationships? Are you seeing having more wealthy cars driving around you? Are you seeing more of them on the road? Those are all alignments and synchronicities and evidence and proof that it is for you, and that it is a reality, and that it is a potential. And the more that you start to recognize those things, the more momentum you get going, and then the momentum takes over and snowballs it and brings it into your life physically. So start acting as if. Figure out how you can do this. Look at your vision board and say, how can I start to act like this person now? How can I be this person right now? And it might take you a couple days to get some clarity on this. It's just something that you want to think about. Start thinking about it today. Start making your list. What is one thing that I can do to take action? If it's losing weight, eat a healthier meal today. If it's, or go, exercise, even if it's just a walk. You have to start taking action. You have to do these things. That's why it's not enough to just sit and it's such a balance between your masculine and your feminine energy. And that's why we're doing the course the way we are. But it is such a balance, because you can't just sit and twiddle your thumbs and wait for it. But you also don't want to take action that's not in alignment with what you want and inspired. So it is a fine balance. I don't want y'all to think that you have to go out and make things happen without having an intention and having a place of alignment first. That's why we continue to meditate every day. We continue to do the morning meditation, you know, say things like, thank you for the magnificent outcome of my day. Thank you for the good news today. Thank you for the unexpected gifts, yada, yada. So you do what you're guided to do, but then you have to do it. So some things you can manifest without doing a whole lot. Some things like losing weight, you know, might come with a little more get up and take action and act like the person who has a fit, healthy, skinny body. You know, you have to act in alignment as much as you think or as much as you visualize. So remember, it's all about thinking, feeling, and acting in alignment with what you say you want. Because then you're putting off that vibration, you're making that decision, and the energy that you're putting out, the universe is going to bring back to you. So let's see, is there anything? Let me look at my notes real quick and make sure there's nothing else. I wrote the repeated and practice vision. Oh, yes, this is important. Okay. See, I just got on a roll and just started talking, which I love. I love that channeling, like effect or that momentum that happens, but sometimes I do have to look at my notes. So the repeated and practice vision you hold becomes your story. So another thing that you need to do is check your story, with acting as if. First, you have to know what you're acting, and like, yeah, the vision is what you're going to use, but you also want to practice a different story, a different like thing that you tell yourself, the self-talk. So if someone comes up to you and says, hey, how are you? And you just say, oh, I'm okay. That's part of a story. And it's just a program that you're running. So, or if someone says like, how's your love life going? And then you just go on to tell them all of like the truth about what is right now, that's your story and that's your set point, and that's how you kind of know what you're going to emotionally and vibrationally too. So you have to start practicing a different story, because that vision, and that is the vision that you hold. It's a new story, but you also want to write it down, is my point here, y'all. You want to write down your new story. So remember how I asked you, or I told you to kind of look at your vision board and figure out what are all the things that she's doing and that she believes differently. You know, how is my life now, and what the life that I say I want, how are they different? How can I embody it now? You want to look at that different list, and also that's what you're going to use to write your story. You're going to say, okay, you know, this, you know, I am healthy, I am beautiful, I am happy, and tie it in, if you can, with things that are already current reality. So if you're writing like, you know, I have a beautiful new car, tie it in next to something that's, I have a loving relationship with my pet. You know, I just saw a car and then a pet. So I was just thinking of just the first thing that popped into my head. In your story, write out what you want to experience. And as you're writing it, it's kind of like scripting. You want to visualize it, and you want to feel it, and you want to pretend, what would it feel like to have this? So if you have to, write a sentence, stop, and then visualize, what would it feel like if this were my reality? So it's kind of like you're playing a mental movie as you're writing, and then you're connecting your heart to it and you're feeling it. Like, this is so fun. Yes, it would be so fun to be wealthy. It would be so fun to have more than enough money. It would be so fun to have this person who just loves me and takes care of me, XYZ. So the repeated and practiced vision that you hold becomes your story, and it becomes automatically what you tell people. So the more that you go back to that each moment, you know, we did the live where I talked about each moment adds up to the collective. The more times you practice this vision and this new way of being mentally and emotionally, it's going to become your automatic set point, and it's going to become the story that you start telling yourself, and the story therefore that you start reflecting and telling other people. So get it in your head that this, or your vision board, is your new life. It is, because it is. And decide. Make a decision and cut off any other behavior or thoughts or feelings or actions that are not in alignment with it. So all throughout your day, you should be asking yourself, you know, is this in alignment with what I'm saying I want? So also I went ahead and just said script, like write out your new story, get creative with it, get into the feeling of it, and then also be a model for your dream life. So modeling is all about an image, right? It's all about an example, a model, another synonym for a model is example, and an embodiment of something. So start embodying the woman in that vision board in your mind. What does it look like And what do you look like when you have that life or that desire? And how can you embody it and be it right now? How can you be a model for your dream life? You were put on this earth to receive. Okay, no, I'm not. That's going to be for the next video, so I'll get into that. I was just reading my bullet points. Yeah, and then the other thing that I already posted this to our group, but it's a really good little quote, so I'm just going to go ahead and share it with you again, just to remind you, if you want something to go away, ignore it. Why? Because it won't be active in your vibration anymore. That's how you make change. If you don't want something, ignore it. It will go away eventually. If you want something to come, act like it's already yours, because then you're resonating with it and you're being a vibrational match to it. Okay, that is it for this lecture. I hope you enjoyed, and you will see me in the course group with lives as usual. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.